in.
What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We're here for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm gonna say it early. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, support us because we want to stay in the algorithm. We want to continue to be able to reach new audiences and new subscribers like we have y'all. But let's get into it. We have a full panel. I don't know what's going on. I would promise no low budgetness today, but it looks like Jamie already got it started. So it ain't Chad today. But Chad, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing today?
Hey guys, can y'all see me?
Oh, look,
I'm having some issues with my audio.
Jamie, you already giving low budget?
I'm feeling very
Hold on.
Low budget.
Yeah, we'll let her get together. Antonio, how are
you? Y'all.
Okay. I see who we have in the chat right now. I see LJ. So LJ said I had to hear this today. David, but it has been a while. Welcome back. Eric M, what's up? Sass K, hey Sass K.
Hey Sass.
I've been watching the stuff with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but your girl Garcelle, I say that Sass K is showing out, but I don't know. Let's get into tonight's episode while Jamie gets it figured out. Hey Jasmine. Yes, Eric, Taco Bell. This episode was a lot, and so I don't really want to waste too much time because I feel like we have so much to discuss within an hour. And I'm gonna get you one more time. Name, you okay, boo?
I'm back. Hello, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but are you okay?
Is everything okay at home?
Right, is everything okay at home?
Hold on. Now y'all's audio is messed up. My God, see, this is what I get for talking shit about Chad.
Yeah,
this is what I get.
It's crazy.
I hope you choke on that sucker, Chad.
Hey, Jasmine.
Well, before he chokes, this episode. So last week we finished off mainly with more of this argument, and then they kind of had like a kumbaya moment, whatever. So after last week, you would think that maybe this would be the last bit of the what's it called? The show. What's that show? The trip. And we would have assumed that maybe like, okay, they're gonna end out on a note they were in the middle of triple child. It goes back left. At this point on this finale dinner of this, not finale, but this dinner, because I think there's more to the trip actually. There was everyone basically argued. And so we pick up in the next day where the ladies are splitting up to go on different excursions. You got the dynamics are kind of different. I feel like you got Whitney and Jen, who I didn't think would hang out at all individually. Then you got Heather and Lisa. That's awkward. And the only one that kind of made sense slightly was Mary and Meredith. And then you got the lady. Of course, the lady, we ain't saying her name. And so I wanted to hear y'all thoughts. Or I want to ask y'all a question first. If you could choose a group to go with, what group would it have been with? If you were on a cash trip, what group would you have gone with if you of those three?
I would have went with Meredith and Mary. I love a good spa day.
Okay.
I would have gone with ATVs because that just seems like it would be fun, but those women would have given me a headache.
Okay.
I would have went with the ATVs as well because it is fun, but I know they would have given me an earful also. So yeah.
Well, I would have did Mary and Meredith too. I mean, I would have had to be around the lady, but at that time I wouldn't have known that she was a racist lady. So it would have been okay. I wouldn't have known. So I would have told that too. Saz K said the spa. Eric says Mary and Meredith, so I'm gonna assume the spa. Let's see. Everyone says spa. And then Jasmine said, I'm usually cool with Heather, but some about that convo was fake. I agree.
Oh, for sure fake.
So let's talk about two of the sit down. So of course they split up bad weather, but when you split up bad weather, that doesn't stop the conversation because the conversation they clearly was talking about continue with Jen and they continue with what's her name? With Lisa. And basically they are talking about whether or not Meredith actually went to her father's memorial. We heard this last week, and that's why she was like lashing out, freaking out, doing stuff like that. And so basically, with Heather and Lisa, she did mention how she felt like, Meredith has not been there for her, and she didn't see it until this, more recent episode. And I love how when she says, you know, I want to let you know I'm here for you. And Lisa says, I'm here for me too.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
it is.
this lady is so fucking self-absorbed. But you know, we're gonna talk about Lisa. Lisa got a whole we got a whole off-topic discussion to talk about with Lisa. But then you have, of course, with and then with Heather and Lisa, they're kind of talking about the days in which Meredith said that the memorial was on. So Heather said that she was told it was on Monday. Lisa said that when she got the phone call on Tuesday on the way to Vail, that's the day she assumed it was. So then Heather's just like, well, either she lied to you, or she lied to me, or she lied to us both, and the memorial didn't happen. I'm like, oh my God, this is too
That
much.
was bold.
It's getting very
That was very
cryptic,
bold.
very bold. So, what's y'all thoughts on this whole memorial gate? Because that's what it's coming about. It's kind of, to me, cringy. But I want to hear y'all thoughts on how they're like taking it. Starting with Antonio. Go ahead.
I thought it was the conversation. I thought it was complete BS. They left for Vail on that Tuesday, from what they said sitting there. Whether the memorial took place on Monday or whether it took place on Tuesday, either way, Meredith wouldn't have been on the bus with them. If it was on Monday, she would have already been in Vail or wherever it was. If it was on Tuesday, she would have already been there. So either way, I don't get what that argument is about. And then Lisa, in her duck face, she lied, stating that, oh, I called her on that Tuesday, and she said, she made me so mad.
I'm dead. Duck face.
She said to me, I called her on that Tuesday, and she said that she was at the memorial. The memorial was
no, she didn't.
Lisa said, I know you're with your family.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So I thought that conversation was some complete BS, and I wish that they would just let that go. Let it go. Like
Chad?
I felt like what's happening with Meredith with the whole memorial thing, they don't have anything like to stand on to really come at Meredith, and I feel like they're trying to find things to come at Meredith about. Because even down to whether she said it was Tuesday or whether she said it was Wednesday, whether she said it was Monday, what does it really matter? Like like I don't really understand what the big deal is when somebody is dealing with a passing. From my understanding, people grieve differently. People have different things going on. Sometimes you are, coherent of the days. Sometimes you're not. It's just like, what are y'all really trying to, what and why y'all trying to make this into an issue? I don't really understand it. And I feel like I said, Meredith has pretty much had a clean slate with, every argument she's been in is really been valid, that from the other person's perspective that they did her wrong. So it's like, you really can't come at Meredith about anything, and I feel like they're trying to find something to attack her about.
I agree, Chad.
That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Like, this is one of those bad reality TV storylines that in a passing comment or something, that there's no way these women would actively still be having this combo if production wasn't like, okay, ask her about the memorial, because like y'all said, she was already out of town. And I feel like they made that joke of, oh, well, did Meredith set her up? That's why she wasn't on the bus. It's like a joke, and that's now become like this driving half of the storyline. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is, you're getting some good reactions, but honestly, I don't like seeing Meredith upset like that, because she obviously is grieving. Like, her father passed away in the middle of fucking filming. Like, she's still having to show up and clock in, and it just feels a little, one of those things that just feels ick to me. Like, you're exploiting this lady who is very clearly still going through some shit.
Okay. I completely agree with all of that. I think that it's kind of just disgusting. And I applaud Meredith, for film, because this was like, how long was this after the bus situation? Like maybe a month, maybe? Or
like a month and a half, because
it
was
like a month and a half.
Very close.
It's 3 years.
Right. And
this
so I feel like
going on?
Like I seen in the comments, it doesn't matter what day, Monday, Tuesday. Like, when someone is grieving, they're grieving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether or not, let's say he hadn't passed. Let's say he was in the hospital on hospice. That's still just because that, like you said, he hadn't passed away officially. I hate that they're like making that a thing. And to me, that's how I know it's like it's time for this season to end. Just because, like I was talking to Chad before we got on, like at this point, they are forcing things to happen. It's entertaining and some bits here and there. But for the most part, like you can tell whether it's production, somebody like at this point, they're trying to make like this bomb ass season, you know what I'm saying? By constantly acting this. Because realistically, there is no real issue. Like the cult thing happened, came, you know what I'm saying? It's past. They bring it up every once in a while as a jab to Mary. They don't really talk about Jen and the thing. They kind of have pushed that narrative from Jen being a whole damn fraud and felon to Meredith being a liar about her dad.
Yeah.
So it's just looking like, what in the world? How are we getting back to how is this all on Meredith now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
I think
Yes.
it took a turn whenever they realized that what's her name, Jen Shah, was not going to be as open about what the fuck was going on as they probably would have won her. Like, we thought this was going to be the Jen Shah season, and to be honest, she's like had a couple of cute little rants and stuff, but honestly, it's the messiness that has been entertaining up till now that has carried it. But now it's running out of steam, and it's like, girl, we're 20 episodes. Can we just end this right now? Because I'm tired.
I feel like they've gotten a full second season run compared to like Potomac. I think Potomac did like the first 3 seasons with like 12 or 13 episodes. And I feel like Salt Lake City really has gotten the awe, and I'm like, whoa, this is kind of like interesting.
Yeah, I agree with what Chase said today. I think it was either Chase or Chad. I forgot which one of you guys said it. That said the first 7 episodes we could have did without. So they really could have wrapped this in about 13, 14 episodes. But
okay. And then I see some comments too. It says Ricky Star says Meredith isn't innocent though. She can never give a straight answer and like to play into those narratives, like in earlier this season when she insinuated to have tipped the feds off. She did. And then I watched what was happening live yesterday, and I was wondering, was he gonna mention that, or are they gonna flash back to that? But I don't think they did. But that was weird, interesting, because she did play along with it. But I mean, realistic, all she said was, "Don't mess with my family." You know what I'm saying? So whether I guess what we took from it was that, but realistically, was she really playing into it? I mean, I don't know.
And we have to keep in mind too, with the revelation that we figured out mid-season, Meredith is a lawyer, and lawyers play with words. They say certain things to, you know, insinuate a lot of things. And now she's a lawyer on TV. So it's like, okay, I know how to play into the drama of what I'm doing with also not going full throttle and making it seem like, oh yeah, I set this girl up. You know, I think that Meredith still understands that she's a TV personality at this point. But you know, about what she's trained and she's working. Yeah,
she's working.
Understand the assignment and what she needs to do.
And she could have given one of those boring answers of, oh, I don't know, you'll have to watch the season, you'll see it. Like, she's having fun.
That's very Lisa Barlow. Keep watching.
Keep watching. Like, girl, I would much rather give me everything that I need to get invested in this. And obviously she lived through it at this point, and she knew how the season was going to go. So she's probably throwing those barbs right back at them. Like, yes, I called the feds on you. God damn.
Well, she said last week she was going to call the CIA.
He did say that. Okay, so the same conversation kind of really, sorry, my voice is like going in and out, so excuse it, child. But the same conversation kind of really happened with Jen and what's her name too? But on the spa days where it got interesting. Now, Mary was just there, you know what I'm saying? She clearly doesn't really care for Jennie. I thought they were being very cordial. Let's be also clear that lady, aka Jennie, had no makeup on and she looked a fool. She should wear makeup.
Look a fool with makeup.
But no, she should wear makeup all time.
So rude.
I'm just gonna say that.
Y'all are so rude.
Y'all so rude.
It was hard to look at that in terms of like.
Not that bad.
No, it was. Actually.
She was not that bad.
It was not that bad.
On.
I was distracted. I'm just saying what my reality, what I saw. You all can have your opinion. I was distracted. So
insert the Chase video here where he screams.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, Sass K. Don't use it right. That lady. But Mary was just basically there. So the conversation started with after the actual spa, Meredith and the lady were talking, and Meredith basically was like, I thought, that wasn't very friend-like for you to do, bring up the private investigator thing. The lady apologizes, And so then I think Meredith asks her, or somebody asks her about
it was Meredith.
how is her and Dewey, and she confesses that Dewey clearly still is not here for the counseling or whatever. And so after she spills her, I guess opens herself up, she feels like Mary should do the same. So she asks Mary, how is Robert Sr.? And she's just like, honestly, I really don't know you like that. And and that's like that. Basically, like, I'm not going to discuss that with you. So
well, Mary did answer the first question, like, how is he, or did you talk to him? And she was like,
she
yeah.
said she did. And then, like, I guess she kind of asked another question. She basically like, I don't know you like that. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that. We've seen it before, especially where they stand. You got to think about it. We're going to talk about this apology later. Honestly, the apology that she gave that lady was not for not liking her, not being her friend. It was for saying that she didn't matter. That's what the apology was for. And I think somehow the lady thought the apology was to everything that's happened. That's not what it was about. And so it's unfortunate that she took that from it. But what are y'all thoughts on this? Because it blows up later too. And I just knew that lady was going to blow it up again, something else to have with this lady. But go ahead, Jamie.
It's, ever since the revelations about her Facebook posts, like, I watched these episodes trying to, like, take that out of my mind. Like, okay, I'm going to take it, understanding that this was filmed, 6 months back? But I can't feel sorry for her now at this. Like, normally before, I'd probably be like, Mary, just tell her how your husband's doing, give some basic answer and keep it pushing. But now I'm like, well, I don't know what to say. she ain't got to tell you shit now. But it's one of those things. Mary is definitely one of those people that you don't really have a lot of wiggle room with her. Like, kind of once you get on her bad side, you're just kind of going to stay there. She doesn't do this makeup. We're good. We're not. She doesn't do that fake stuff. She's very much like, I'm going to keep you over there. You already yelled at me once. We're good, babe.
Yeah.
So
she don't have to like that lady. She don't have to like her. You don't got to be friends with anybody.
Go ahead, Chad.
I think that, so for the first time, I actually, y'all know we be in the group chat, and sometimes I'm not responding because I'm working or doing something, but I do read the chat still just to try to keep up with what's going on. But I think that with this episode and in that moment specifically was the first time I actually felt what y'all have been saying for a while when it comes to Jennie and how she treats Mary versus how she treats the others. In that moment, I think that Mary was reserved with not, like, saying her information because, for one, of course, Mary's petty, and she was like, I don't know you like that. But I also think that she looked at how Jennie reacted to Meredith calling her out and how she responded, because Jennie was immediately apologetic. She was, I'm really sorry. I never meant to hurt you, la, la, la. And I feel like when Mary has expressed to her, certain things or whatever, she is not as receptive. She's, immediately like, yeah. Like, she's not the same way. I feel like with Meredith, she was more so like, she was just more so like caring. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Mary looked at it like, this energy is not the same when it's me. But so, since the energy not the same, I'm going to give you what you give me. And Mary pulled the old Nene Leakes moment and gave, I don't know you like that, so I'm not going to discuss that with you. And I was really here for it. Even I really separated the whole racist stuff, from Jennie, and I really was like, I understood where Mary was coming from, because I looked at Jennie like, girl, you don't ever respond to Mary in that way when she's saying anything. You don't give her any type of wiggle room. You just go straight for the kill, and Mary's the worst person on earth. So I was like, yeah.
Tony?
Yes, TKC. Chad got jobs with a whole lot of S's. But yeah, I agree with what Chad said. I was okay with Mary saying, "Girl, I'm gonna give you this basic answer. Yes, I spoke to him, and don't ask me nothing else about my husband," because I knew that no matter what Mary said, whether she gave her in-depth information or whether she played it the way she did, Jennie was gonna take it back. Just think if Mary would have opened up and said, you know what? Yeah, I talked to him and he hung up the phone on me and we having some marriage issues too and XYZ and blah, blah, blah. Jennie would have took that back to Whitney or whomever, and it would have been a whole situation still at that table because of what Mary had said. So I'm glad that Mary kind of just gave her the cold shoulder and was petty as hell and was like, "Yeah, I don't know you like that."
She gave her the cold shoulder, told her, "I don't know you like that." You know what? I think I'm excuse myself because I don't want to.
I mean, it was a lose-lose
I think
situation.
you know what? I think like people like the lady, just her feelings probably was hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? She felt like she had just shared something in the space of Mary, but realistically, Mary was just there. So I mean, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You don't do things to get the same thing back. If she wanted to share, then she'll share. Otherwise, girl, you just told your whole life and you just got nothing back. Sorry.
For what?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It
was a lose-lose.
Right.
if Mary had opened up to her, I don't think she would have, ran her low, but the lady probably would have gotten her head like, oh, now me and Mary are going to be friends, and would have kept trying to have a conversation. Damn well Mary don't want to talk to that lady.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now Mary just gave her more ammunition, like we saw, to have a moment and to play the victim and to whine about whatever. It's like, girl, you don't have to blow this. You don't have to blow this up. You really don't have to blow this up.
Eric M said Mary is a rich black woman and the lady can't stand it. They underestimate Mary's money on the show. My girl is coined up. You go to her church. Tell me, Eric. I want to know.
And she kept her tank top on while she was getting
fully clothed.
Yeah, and the lady had an issue with that in the confessional.
Holy.
I'm like, can she? If she is a holy lady, the way y'all
she's
keep
a
saying,
holy lady.
Like my thing is, they keep throwing up the whole like, you can't be doing this if you are a woman of God. Okay, when she is trying to be a woman of God, you still can't take it. So it's just like, leave this lady alone.
Is it before we move on? I had since we're on the topic of Robert Sr. somewhat. Is it weird, or is it me, or have y'all noticed too that Robert Sr. really has not been on this season at all?
No, I've noticed.
And also, I feel like something may be going on behind the scenes. I don't know, and I'm not trying to put that on her marriage, but something seems very weird this go around with her and Robert Sr. Even in the scenes where she would be communicating with him, it just seemed like he was like, whatever, don't even want to be on the phone. I don't know. It was just kind of awkward. And I'm like, I'm trying to piece it together. Like, are they having marriage issues?
I think they kind of are, Chad, because I remember, I don't know if it was on the show or in an interview where she was stating that even when the pandemic started, they didn't even live together. He was in, I think, the house in Orlando, and she was in Salt Lake.
He was in the shed.
They was apart for an extended period of time where they didn't see one another. So I think they kind of have, I won't necessarily say that they're having problems, but I think that they just kind of have an understanding about the situation.
I think what she said was, in regards to the pandemic, was they were having to spend a lot of time together during quarantine, and she didn't like it, or she made a face or something like that, because normally he would be traveling for work at all the other properties.
It was something about him.
Yeah. And because I think we talked about that either in the group chat or even on the show, because whenever she asked, "Can you bring me my belt?" he said no. And
he was like, "What coat?" She's like, "The ball."
He didn't know that. He didn't want to do it.
Didn't even get the whole design out. She was like, "Bop." He was like, "Click."
Yep.
JP Rob said nobody is jealous of Mary. Oh, I don't know. That sounds like a jealous statement, JP Rob. I don't know. And Tosh C, I've been waiting on this live. This is the only panel that makes sense of last night's shit show. Child, we got a whole lot more to get into. I promise you. There's a whole
right. Thank you, Tosh.
I'm ready to
trying to iron it out.
Child. Okay, so let's move along. So then we have basically Jen is hosting the dinner for tonight. I guess it's around Cinco de Mayo because I think they filmed in May or April.
Yeah, this was made because it was a Mother's Day.
Oh, it was Mother's. Yes, correct. Yeah. So it was around that time.
I gotta
host a Cinco de Mayo theme dinner in honor of. She said Mary saying that she was a Mexican thug. I thought that's okay. That's cute. Okay, I give you.
I was like, that's
I was okay with it.
But that's
she
cute.
Came down those
one
stairs.
thing I will say is that she had the event. She wasn't nasty at the event about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she took it, threw a little shade, but didn't really be like Mary. We all in Mexican because you said I was a Mexican thug. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that about her. So kudos to Jennie or Jen. I'm sorry. So then, before the event, Meredith pulls Whitney to the side, and she's like, was this, was this event sponsored by the old people's money? Because if it's sponsored by the old folks' money, I really don't want to go.
Oh, that was classic. I loved it.
Classic white woman. I
love it.
It was.
I love it.
It was. I was like,
what I want to say real quick is Meredith is sticking to this. Like, I don't want any ties to Jen's shit.
Yep.
If you remember in Beverly Hills season how Sutton was like, I don't want to be around Erica, but she came around Erica. Meredith, she's coming around, but she's really playing the role.
She went from don't invite me to anything that woman is at to she's at every event and she's complaining about her the whole time. I love it.
Right.
But I was so intrigued. I was like, what the hell Meredith finna say? Because I didn't really see any previews of that. And Meredith was like, listen, if she paid for them tacos and shit,
right,
I'm not eating it because it came from the old people money. And she said she had zero assets.
I was like, why would you talk to Whitney? I'm like, girl, you talked to the wrong person.
I was thinking the same thing.
She probably wanted it to get back to Jen. She was like, all right, go tell Jen. Go tell Jen I don't want to eat dirty money tacos.
Then after she basically confirms that the husbands kind of pay for it, or I think Whitney probably just lied and told her that because she really wanted Meredith there. So she could confront her. I think she did that. I think because realistically, we know production pay for this kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't think the husbands went in their banks and said, all right, no, this is a production pay for situation. But I mean, for the show, it was the husband sending them on Mother's Day. Right. TKC said it's well known production pays for everything though. Right. But I mean, for TV purposes, let's remove the thought. That's fine. So then at the actual dinner, all the ladies have on their clothes, and I thought they all were wearing red. I don't know what memo that Mary got because Mary had on gold, and
that dress was so tacky.
And what's her name? Lisa had
I hated the dress.
That dress was,
and then she had tied a scarf around her some kind of way. But okay,
it was bad.
Do y'all think was anybody actually dressed for Cinco de Mayo? Do y'all think?
Jen Shah, the beautiful,
that was the best I think I've seen Jen look. I love that mouth red. I love that wavy, curly hair. I love the red outfit. I didn't really like her body in the red outfit, but I ain't here to like.
Was that a wig or was that her natural hair?
Listen, whatever it was, I liked it.
It was a wig.
Every bit of the beautiful, beautiful Afro Latina goddess that she is. Very ethnic. Very ethnic.
Okay, so they go to the dinner table and basically they get to the table and she passes out these gifts. And at this point, they keep panning the camera to Meredith, and Meredith is like, and Jen is like, it's taking Jen a while to explain what the hell the gifts are for. And so, but I feel like Meredith, like, girl, I don't know if I should open this. I don't know what I should do. So she opens the gift or whatever. They all open the gifts, and it was a cute little gift. You know what I'm saying? I like the whole thing. I was like, okay, Jen. For a minute, I forgot who Jen was, or whatever. And so Mary is just like, I need to go get it. I'm cold outside. And Whitney said, "Can you bring me a blanket too?" She said, "Probably not."
Bring us blankets. Can you bring us blankets?
Can you bring us blankets? She said, "Probably not." And I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Listen, I was fine with that because that was like the second time where they done summoned Mary to do something. Like, Mary, go get Meredith and bring her back.
But they always do that. That's the second time. That's the second time.
But when
Mary was going into the house.
But when they panned the camera to where the blankets were, they were literally right there. It's like, yo, get up and get your own blanket.
Because the lady started handing them the blanket.
Like, no.
And Nushka says the ass wasn't there. I'm telling y'all, Jen Shah, she looked cute, but that little shape and that little rumper thing was not hidden. Like
she need a little booty. That's all. She needs some booty.
She needs some hips. She need to finish the rest of the surgery.
She looks. Do y'all remember on Family Guy where it has Peter dressed as a woman? It's just legs attached to his big old face. That's what Jen Shah looks like.
My God. Y'all are ruthless.
But yeah, so basically that happens, and then Heather was like, "Well, I don't care if she comes back because she's being nasty, she being rude." And then Jennie, or the lady, is like, "Well, she was like that to me at the spa too." So girl. I mean, I don't know what's going on, and so at this point, Meredith starts defending Mary, and she's just saying, you know, what I'm saying like they're all coming at Meredith like she's her mother. And she's like, You let her behave like this. You let her behave like this. And Meredith's like, listen, I'm not saying it's right, but she can feel how she want to feel. Blah 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 blah. And also talk to her when she come back. So Meredith comes back. It's cricket.
Meredith said, "Here she come right now in the little ugly gold dress.
Here she come and they go. She's coming and go. Talk to her. And so she gets back and it's cricket until Pumpkin, aka Whitney, says,
You can always count on Whitney to just start the shit.
Always.
She said,
She gonna jump
I
it
have to
off.
respect her for that. I have to respect her for
I
that.
don't respect her at all after this episode for sure. Because my thing is, she's not. It would be nice if she would have been like, you know, when you left the table, Mary, we were all discussing this. She says, Jennie, finish what you were saying
About Mary.
you're gonna pass the baton over to her, like be a bad bitch. You know
And then
what
here
I'm
comes Jennie with her. Never mind. I ain't even-
It's a lot. So at this point, you know what I'm saying, we can talk about this part from here on up, and then y'all give me y'all thoughts on everything that happened. Because when she gets back or whatever, she basically, you know, calls Jennie out to finish, and Jennie is just like, you know, do you like Mary? Do you like Jennie? And she said no.
And I think that's pretty apparent. I don't think
fine.
Mary likes that lady. I don't think that lady really likes Mary either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but and that's true. And she was like, you know, that's rude. She said, well, I think you're rude. And I think this is a new edit because I don't think this is the original edit, but they end up flashing back to moments in which Jennie, the lady, was aggressive to Mary. And I don't feel like that was like that before last week. I feel like they changed that edit to be in favor of her looking like that, because before that, I don't think we would have saw that. Me personally.
Yeah. We
good
saw
call-out.
both of those things. With her yelling at the bus. We saw it originally how it went down. And then
I don't think they would have
at the table.
I think they would have reminded us that it happened. So at this point, you got them two going back and forth, and Jennie is just like, or the lady is just like, you know, you're the meanest here. Everybody sees it. You know, again, let's take down Mary. That's what I'm seeing. And basically, like, you've been rude to this. And then she was saying that I guess they kind of heard it doesn't matter again, or she don't matter. And Heather was like, oh, she matters. She was like, what? Like, her husband paid for this. She was like, why are you talking about husbands? Mary's like, why are you talking about husbands? She was just like, you don't have a husband. And she was like, oh, Heather said, fuck you, Mary
Crosby.
Mary M. Cosby. If you're married to your, what did you say, your granddaddy?
Yes, you married to your
step-granddaddy. It was a lie. So let me just give y'all thoughts on that. I don't want to keep going. It was a lie. I want to sum up some more later. So, Chad, go ahead.
I thought that it was, for one, I have to go back to what Jamie said the other day about this group specifically. In group settings, they are perfection. Like, it literally goes from 0 to 100 in seconds, and it's always good. But anyway, I thought that the Heather and Mary thing was so funny because I think that Mary took what Heather was saying wrong.
Yeah.
In typical Mary fashion, but her response just was TV gold as usual. And then it went from there. I thought that it also showed a lot of what these women really think about Mary, because the whole grandfather thing, yes, it was explosive when it happened, you know, but it was so last season. I feel like that is like the last thing that should be being brought up right now on season 2 at the end of the season, to come at Mary about it. It was like, you could have said something else, even though it was good TV, a good comeback. It was just like, girl, you could have said anything else. But Heather, I think Heather was irritated at that point too with Mary, because she had already said, you know, she don't have to come back, la la la. Yeah. So I think that that was her responding because she was irritated with Mary.
Well, she's already, think about it, Chad. She's already said that she doesn't want to be around Mary. She made like a thing about sitting next to her. She said she was scared of Mary. This all started, you know what I'm saying, in Vale. So, I mean, at this point, we've already seen the shift between Harry.
Who's Harry?
Oh my God.
We've already seen.
Don't talk about the husband.
Oh man.
Yeah, let's talk about the husband thing. No, but we've already seen that shift between Heather and Mary way back. So I'm not surprised. And then like even early, like last week when she was, you know, saying that Jennie didn't matter and Heather was like getting involved. It's like this is clearly Heather has shifted. She's no longer neutral to any. She is like, I don't really care for Mary, but she doesn't start with Mary. She waits until an opportunity to where she can try to make her seem like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I mean, that's what I was saying. I think that Heather's normally, like I said last week, I think Heather's normally a team player. Even if she don't really rock with something, she still will play the game. And I think on that night, she was just irritated with how Mary was probably acting. We probably didn't see, the most of what Mary was doing, because I'm sure with what we actually did see, the bits that we didn't see, I'm sure Mary was probably really carrying on them. Like,
absolutely. Same thing. I know,
absolutely.
Definitely.
And this is the moment where I really wish that Mary cursed. I wish she cursed. I just wanted her to say something so foul to just make them go, oh, because they needed something to just really just gag them. And realistically, she's just not.
She don't really dig deep.
She's not a really malicious person. Like she doesn't try to hurt or with intent. You know what I'm saying? She's just very honest.
I don't know about that.
No, she just don't dig. Mary don't dig deep like a Kenya Moore would.
She doesn't. Like she really doesn't.
Oh yes, in that instance, yeah.
Because
we know you don't like her, Jamie.
When that lady. No.
When Heather said that to Mary, I thought, first of all, it was late because we done heard that read already, like years ago. So
but the timing was on point for this time, I will say.
But it was the comeback was on point, but I still thought it was late. But from what Lisa said, hell, Heather and them be fucking their cousins and each other and shit. They all inbred. That's what Lisa Barlow said.
According to Lisa Barlow.
So okay, at least Mary having sex with somebody that she's not blood related to. Y'all, fucking y'all sisters, brothers and shit like that. Like that's some bullshit.
Allegedly. I added the allegedly. Go ahead, Jamie, because you just ready to go in on Mary. Go ahead.
No, actually, I'm not. Heather, this entire 2 seasons has been like, and we've talked about this before. She has this incessant need to make sure everybody gets along and that everybody plays nice. She's such a fucking mother. And so sometimes it works out where she's like, well, let's have a conversation. What are you doing here? But Mary, you're not going to get Mary to do anything Mary doesn't want to fucking do. And so Mary's annoyed by Heather constantly saying, talk to Jennie, be nice. Girl, let Mary ignore that lady, all she wants. Let her ignore her. It's fine. It's whatever. If Jennie wants to sit and cry about it, okay. We already know she likes to take one instance and she'll carry on for episodes. But Mary, I know for a fact Mary opens her mouth and says things before she really thinks about them. Because that stuff just be flying out of her fucking mouth. And the grandfather comment, it was last season, but I mean, you brought up husband, so I'm going to shoot the one thing about your husband that everybody knows for sure.
Yeah, and that's why we needed a Kenya Moore, any leaks to jump inside of Mary, and for Mary to go ahead and really dig into Heather and make her cry sitting at that table. That's what just
but Mary's not that it.
No, she's not. That's what we're saying. She's not.
I don't think that she is a person that when it comes to when somebody goes like, and I want to say, Brooke, we're not saying that Mary's innocent because clearly she started. She started
not innocent at all.
She actually was confused on what the Heather was saying. And
all Heather said was, "Hey, Jennie."
Yeah, she didn't understand, but I mean, hey, she got read. I mean, in a way, she was fair game because she did kind of start it or whatever. But I think that when it comes to I got my train of thought, Chad. I lost my thought. See, go ahead, Jamie.
Trying to think of the lie. To defend Mary.
Chad, please. It'll come back. Go ahead.
I mean, y'all keep saying Mary is not this. Mary plays just as dirty as the rest of them. When Mary wants to hurt somebody's feelings, she can absolutely.
No,
Mary is not. Mary is not a damsel in distress. Mary can take.
Nobody
care of her
said that.
Right.
Nobody said that. Her mouth. Mary opens her mouth and fights dirty, just like the rest of them.
I'm saying she don't go as dirty as she
there is
intent
versus impact, and so what I feel like she may say stuff.
Doesn't apply here.
I feel like she may say things that you know what I'm saying they may hit you or whatever, but like you said, it comes out of her mouth without thinking. She's not intentionally trying to hurt you. I ain't saying it's excuse because it's gonna hurt you regardless, but I feel like that's the difference between her. Like she's not gonna say, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, like you're a broken whore from this and fucking. She's not gonna do all that.
But that's what makes it funny.
Even in the most churches way, she still wouldn't say, "Oh, you doing this." It's just, in a back and forth banter. I don't think she'd ever win a back and forth banter because that's not really her thing. I mean, look how Lisa kind of ate her up. Lisa kind of essentially ate her up in that argument. And all Mary could do was.
I was happy to see Heather get through an argument without crying. Like I was just happy for that.
She was
And
crying on
fact
the
she
inside,
stood-
I'm sure. And
she
she
was-
probably
she
thought
was.
she did something
It
when she
tore her
threw
up.
that damn
But
granddaddy
that's
comment
growth.
out there. It's like, Heather,
But
take
that's
your,
growth.
Yeah,
your ass
That's
on.
growth. Good for
that's
Heather.
very true.
Fuck
Good for
her.
Heather.
Very true. Okay. Well, I did want to say something. I saw a comment. I can't think of who said it, but they were saying that when Jennie told Mary to leave,
To leave, yeah.
leave, and I would have just been
Yeah.
like, "Girl, you're on my platform at this." I mean, it's season 2, but still, you are new,
Right.
and then at this point, you're gone. I thought that was kind of funny at that moment.
Yeah.
I didn't
Mary
like
should have hit
Jennie,
her with a bitch. Fuck you.
I didn't like
Right.
Jennie's comment, and I don't know if y'all caught it, but when she was like, "You're making all of my friends upset," it was like,
Yes, she
girl,
It was
was
all
like, girl.
weird.
And that's why
like,
that's what they kept saying. Like, you don't like my friend, and that's my friend. I was like, girl,
this group has never.
Mary
looked
say
like-
none of
they've
us
never had a
friends.
friendship. The only friendships we ever
Yeah.
saw for real, Lisa and Meredith before now, Mary and Meredith, and then Lisa and Heather,
Heather and Whitney.
Heather. There's not been like a real friend dynamic. Jennie has been thrown into scenes all
Yeah.
season just to be there, and she had
Yeah.
moments because with Mary, and so I didn't really like that either. I agree. It was weird to see that. Yeah. Brooke, we know you don't. Brooke, you and Jamie should swap numbers because y'all
we're just real. We're just real. We call it like we see it.
really
Everybody can get
relative. Really relative.
Yeah, just like Mary married her grandfather. Relative.
Okay, she still paid
With somebody else's money.
So then after that, once they basically get to once they finish that whole thing, Lisa is basically trying to talk to Meredith and basically get Mary to calm down or stop her or whatever. And Jen jumps in, makes it about her. Because I guess she feels like Lisa's not doing that for her. She still has an issue with her, being supportive to Meredith when she feels like she should be supportive to her. Jen leaves. I'm like, Jen, you just said you was gonna be quiet and eat your food, but all of a sudden now you're involved.
She was mad that Lisa had stuck up for Jennie though, and she felt like her and Lisa were better homegirls.
She was pissed.
Yeah,
she was pissed. Yeah. Did she have any right to be?
I was really
so.
I was really lost on Lisa throughout the episode. I think she mentioned it a few times where she was like, talking about her and Meredith, and she was like, Meredith hasn't stood up for me how I've stood up for her. And I was really lost because I'm like,
me too, Chad.
What have you done? I mean, what has gone on that Meredith has not stuck up for you for? Like, I feel like maybe it's off camera stuff. I don't know. But I was really like, girl, what are you talking about? Which is why it goes back to my point of y'all are really trying to find any reason to have an issue with Meredith. Because I'm like, what she have stood up for you for?
Yeah.
Like, I was really lost.
Well, let's talk about let's ask, has Lisa ever stood up for Meredith? Can we think of a moment that she's ever had her back?
No, because even with the whole Jen and the Twitter situation,
she chose a side, clearly.
Yeah. She didn't stick up for Meredith. She was trying her best.
She played neutral.
She tried to play neutral, and she sat on the fence. So I'm with you on that, Chad, and that was on my mind too. I was like, what? I mean, I don't know what she stood up for Meredith for and had Meredith's back about, and I don't know what she's wanting Meredith to have her back about, really.
I was so lost with that.
And also, I'm sorry, to rewind back when Whitney and Jen were out in the ATVs, did y'all catch how Whitney was so open on that flashback at the table when she asked Meredith about the man that supposedly, they were both. Yeah. She didn't do that with Jen. She was like, was there anything else other than like Twitter? That was kind of interesting to me as well.
That whole little scene was
cringy.
Well, I said that she wasn't as open and as messy with Jen as she typically is with like a Meredith or Mary or.
Well, I mean, she's scared of Jen. I mean, Jen tried to hit her Jen tried to hit her last season, so I mean, she probably want to leave her alone. I mean, I don't know why she ain't scared of Mary by now, but I guess she just ain't scared of Mary. Maybe she's scared of God. I don't know, because Mary's God. So then after that, Lisa and Mary had their little back and forth, and it was just basically like calling each other fake. You're the fakest person I know. Your whole life's fake. Your church is fake. And at this moment, this is where I just start to like, I love Lisa Barlow, but I start to shift my mind to be like, you know what? I don't know if I'm really liking Lisa anymore. And it's not because they're married, but it's because like it's okay to go back and forth, but Lisa is really fake. She's coming out really fake. And I say that because, she was the same person that was in Mary's room, trying to talk about this. She was the same person that was, trying to defend Mary. And then now you're basically saying how you feel, which is fine. But when you get so intentional to say like the whole thing, and then they talk about the congregation's fake, I just personally, I don't, whether it was married or not, call it what you want to call it. When you question someone's church and stuff like that, when it comes to like, if you actually believe it, then you got Mary, it's a low moment when you got Mary asking Whitney if her church is real. I was like, this is weird. Lisa at that point was just spiraling, and then she made a comment about her eating Taco Bell, which people say the Taco Bell thing was weak. I feel like what she was saying with the nutrients,
that was hilarious.
It was so random. I was like, you eat candy.
It was so random.
Telling her like, girl, you need to eat better so you can live better, and maybe you can probably smell better. That's what I heard. I don't know. It was a very loaded comment to me. But what were y'all thoughts on this a little back and forth between these two before we get to the last part?
It was interesting, and I didn't think about it in that way until Jasmine said it in the group chat. I was like, oh, maybe that is what she was saying, when she was like, well, you don't eat nothing but candy and Taco Bell, you need some nutrients. She's trying to tell that girl her punani might be stinky.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, that is very weird. Like, you need some nutrients, that is low. I wouldn't just take that as, oh my God, I love Taco Bell, but Lisa doesn't think outside of herself. So yeah.
I thought it was a perfect comeback for a woman of God. She said, you know what? I don't read with curse words. I don't read real nasty, but I'm gonna just say this. And I felt like that was one of the punches that really hit. Like I was doing something. I had to turn around when she said the Taco Bell comment. I had to run back over to my remote and rewind because I said, did she say that this woman and her children need some nutrients? Like that shit was hilarious.
It was
that whole scene with Mary, that shows Mary at her best when she's just saying the most random shit. Like in her head, she knows what she means, but it's not coming out like. And then you have to sit back and think about it. She did that all the first season when everybody thought she was weird, where she was this quirky lady. It's the stuff that you eat candy. Like that was how she started the read. It's so random, but it's hilarious. She makes good TV when she shows up to work.
So you think it actually get a little better, but it actually got a little more cringy because then you have Mary talking to about the whole church, So Mary said, Lisa, you could never come to my church. You would never come to my church. And Lisa said, I don't want to. And I was like, well, girl, I don't know if you go to anybody's church, but they seem to hear it there. And so Mary and Whitney get into a little moment. And then she's just like, Whitney's is like, how can a woman of God be like this and talk to us like this? And Mary's just like, girl, like same way a woman of God was on that pole last night. And she was just like, well, God taught me how to strip. And I'm like, what? I'm just like, what am I watching?
It was so chaotic.
It was so weird.
Just weird. I was just lost. And I was like, do you think that was a bar? The same thing? Like God taught me how to strip on the pole? Like what?
Yeah. And then she says, Meredith, you lead with love and kindness. How you gonna be friends with somebody like this?
He did. They were at this point, like in a confessional, Mary did say, you know what I'm saying? She hates that she's held to a higher standard. She was like, it doesn't matter if she's a woman of God. If you come for her, she's gonna come back for you. So I think that's a valid thing to say. I mean, that's people in church all damn time. They have regular lives outside of church. They don't pop off. They don't do certain things. I mean, it's reality. So and like you said, like it's very questionable to say sometimes the Mormons are part of a cult too. So it's quite interesting when I see this dynamic because they're looked at as a cult as well. I look at it as a cult myself, but
I do too.
And they take part in like incest.
I don't support it, but I mean, I see it and it's like, okay, y'all ain't look kettles and pots is what I see.
I think the Mary, you're a woman of God comment would probably land a little harder if Mary was like this pious person who is holding like always like being a Debbie Downer or telling them like, oh, don't do that in my presence. But Mary pretty much keeps to herself. She doesn't ever talk to them about Jesus. She's not witnessing. She's not like beating them over the head with her religion. She pretty much is like minding her own damn business.
You want to know why,
so,
Jamie?
like,
you want to know why? Because the season ended for Mary 4 or 5 episodes ago. Her season finale was when she got those shoes back. She was like, I'm done, but I gotta go.
Yeah.
And that's how you know this is too damn long. At this point, I feel like they are just the arguments are getting so damn outrageous and chaotic because they are forced to continue filming. Like at this, it's not.
They're tired at this point.
Well, they're tired.
Point,
it's not.
They're just tired and just like arguing
it's
about
a lot.
Stupid shit.
And so, just when you think, like I said, at the very end. Meredith apologizes, you know what I'm saying, for her going off on the girls yesterday about the comment. And what does Whitney do? She asks the same fucking question again, whether or not she went to her father's memorial. This obviously sent Meredith back up times 10.
Yeah.
She's pissed off. And she basically said, it's none of your fucking business. And I'm just like, yes. That's all. I mean, she
threw Lisa under the bus in the process of saying that because she said Lisa was questioning whether the memorial was fake or whatever.
Yeah.
But she noticed she did that while Lisa was away. Lisa
Lisa was gone. Lisa had stormed off by then. But
right.
That moment made me say I was.
Y'all are such a hot panel. Choo choo.
Okay, choo choo.
Not choo-choo like a train.
Right.
Train, baby.
I was over Whitney after she did that. I was just like, okay, you know what? The messiness is cute, you know, when it's cute, but girl, you really are dragging it.
But she kept asking. She kept
like, you need to read the room.
It was like, girl, like this is sad. Like you really need to stop. I really looked at Whitney as pathetic in that moment.
I did too, Chad.
Well, she was also drunk yet again, slurring her words, eyes bloodshot, and maybe you need to drink a little bit less in these situations because you do become a little insufferable when you're harping on the same fucking thing.
It was very, and you know, I watched the previews, a preview from next week's episode where she like goes in and asks her again.
Yeah.
And she's basically, you know, this is
and it's the same night because she's still on in that same dress. And I think Meredith's still gonna have on her outfit.
And she constantly like, I mean, I just want to know because they're talking about it. She says, it's none of your business. I mean, I just want to know because they're talking. I'm like, girl, are you on a fucking tape recorder? What the hell is wrong with you? It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? To keep like that is not even.
They're not pushing back on production at all because production seems like production
is really controlling them.
Going, and Whitney's like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
It's cringy, and she, but I do like that she said next week that Meredith said, "Well, I didn't ask you about your father, and if you know where he is, or something like that." And then Whitney goes, "That is so low.
That is so low."
She like,
I didn't see that.
Low.
You didn't see the preview, Chad? Oh, it looks fantastic.
No. Oh yeah, Chad. That was in the preview for next week. Yeah,
it looks great. But Whitney
was offended.
Whitney was up at the end.
That is so low. I'm like, really?
It looks great. We'll send that to you, Chad, because it's a key.
But
it's hilarious.
But to move the conversation, while all this is going on, Lisa is in the back with her mic on. She's having a hot. I'm gonna call it a cold mic because honestly, I'm gonna say that she knew that damn mic was on and she knew what to do. Just because Lisa has been self-producing all season. And she's still self-producing even behind the door with the producer in the mirror with the camera as she throws the camera outwards. So I want to talk about this because some of the people are going up for it and they're saying like it's iconic, it's legendary, it's one of the best.
They call Lisa a queen and an icon and everything. Yeah,
Chad, they said all of that, but Carlos King disagreed, and so if you can see. Let me look this over. I want to discuss this with y'all. What do y'all think about her hot mic moment? Starting with you, Chad, and then we can look at this. And basically what I have on the screen right now is just a few tweets. Let me move this out the way. Basically, where Carlos, you have, it's kind of small. Where Connor at the bottom right here says, Lisa's hot mic moment will go down in Housewives history as one of the most instantly iconic scenes ever. Carlos King is like overused words in reality TV, iconic and legendary. This doesn't apply to this moment. We need to discuss. So what are y'all thoughts, Chad?
I actually disagree with Carlos. I think that, well, you know what? This is one of those moments where I can see both sides, and I think that what Tony said in the middle when she says when they are white, it's iconic. When they are black, it's below the belt or aggressive. I agree with that. I think that at the end of the day, regardless to how we want to kumbaya it, how we want to, make it seem like it's an even playing field, we know that it's not, still in 2022.
Yeah.
So let's just get past that, in my opinion, for the sake of Housewives. So let me be clear about that. For the sake of Housewives, let's get past the whole what black women can do, what white women can do, because now we in the 8th installment of the Real Housewives franchise. We know that black women are looked at through a different lens. We know that white women are looked at through a different lens. So that's that. With that being said, I think that Lisa's moment is absolutely iconic. And I do think that it will go down in history as something that is just crazy. And I think that the reason why it is iconic is because of her and Meredith's relationship. Had this been people that have been at odds forever, it would be like, okay, girl, you just saying stuff. But given how the scene played out, I feel like it was such a Looney Tune moment, because it was like what Meredith was doing at the table. It may have rubbed you the wrong way as a friend, because you feel like Meredith has wronged you or hasn't stood up for you, but it was so uncalled for what was actually going on in that moment, which is what goes back to me saying, is there stuff that we did not see? Because the things that Lisa was saying, nothing happened at that table that warranted
well, let me say this real quick. So she says that she said that Lisa explains herself by saying all that because she had heard that Meredith called her house ugly.
I saw that.
That's what she said. So
even that is still, like I said, nothing has been done to Lisa that we've seen on Meredith's part over the course of season 1, over the course of season 2, that warranted that type of reaction. So I think, again, what makes it iconic is the fact that Lisa and Meredith have been great friends for years. And it's like, whoa, this is like a complete 360 in a matter of seconds. Like, I was really lost. And, I've always been team Meredith and team Lisa, but in that moment, I was really grossed out by Lisa, because I'm like, this is your girl. Exactly. This is your day one. Yeah. Like, I was really like,
that is some foul shit.
Yeah. I was like, go and express yourself, yell to the heavens and say how upset you are with her, how you are over her, this and the third. But once you started saying the whole about her family and
her family,
it was just like, I mean, at that point for me, that was worse than the stuff that Jen has done to Meredith over the seasons. I feel like I've always said that when people that you don't know or don't really care about or don't like, when they say stuff about you, you can let it rub off your shoulder. It may bother you a little bit, but you can let it rub off your shoulder. But when it's somebody that is a friend, a best friend, that's hurtful. And I feel like Lisa was 2,000% out of line. And Lisa, if you're watching this, I've always been a supporter of you, but girl, you was completely out of line, and nothing you could say to me at that point me and you would never be cool again. I'm gonna just say that.
We could be cordial just because we have to work together, but that's it. It was really, but in that moment, unless there were things edited out that we didn't see, I didn't see, I guess, really Meredith taken up for Mary or anything like that. She was just saying that's not the relationship.
Well, so this is the thing that it's crazy. It's very hypocritical. The very one thing that Meredith wanted from Lisa is the one thing that Lisa wants from Meredith now. You know what I'm saying? Back when the whole, Brooks versus Jen, Pettygate was. The thing is, Meredith didn't even care if her and Jen were still friends. She didn't care about that. All she wanted was for her to hold Jen accountable and let her know she was wrong for messages, tweets, and stuff like that. And Lisa really did not straddle the fence. She went really to one side. She was very pro Jen in saying that, she was kind of justified in her actions. And so it's crazy at that table when they all, including Lisa, in her ear on the side, is saying, this is your friend. Is this what you hang with? You know what I'm saying? Like, get her together. It's the same thing. So I don't even know why Lisa has these expectations. It's just kind of like, I don't want to say she's a sociopath. I don't know her mental state, but what I think is just something does not click like in a person for them to think that they deserve some kind of loyalty when they haven't given that loyalty to somebody else. It's just you have to at least be like, well, damn, I can just say I didn't do this for this person, but in her head, she really believed that she has been there for Meredith.
Stood up for Meredith, and she
has not been there for Meredith at all.
But even outside of that, well, let me go back to this. I do not think that what she said behind that door with the mic moment was iconic. I think it was shocking, but it wasn't iconic. And I'll say because it wasn't something that we hadn't heard for the most part. Hell, Jen had already said a couple of episodes ago she had 10 boyfriends and that she had an affair, and then it made Lisa look a little bit stupid because a couple of weeks ago on Watch What Happens Live, when Andy asked her who did she have the most dirt on, and she's like nothing, and they asked her about the affair, she said I've only ever met Seth. So it kind of made Lisa look really stupid and actually made her look extremely jealous of Meredith, almost like she was waiting to really dig in and say those things about Meredith. And now she felt like, oh, now I have a reason to, so I'm going to go ahead and say all the shit that I've wanted to say. So I just went with it. And I don't really see us seeing how Meredith is like about, especially her family, and for you to mention her family, I don't see them being able to come back from that anytime soon.
Yeah. I think when you use the word, like, for me, iconic, it's something that you're going to remember, like, oh, yes, you got that bitch. You really showed her. You really, like, put her in her place. And that, to me, was just, like, it was shocking. We're going to remember it. We're going to keep talking about it. Lisa is probably going to be defined by that one random, incoherent, crazy rant for quite some time. Their friendship is going to suffer. But, I mean, I don't think it will definitely be top 10 like meltdowns in Housewives history, but I don't think that she would want to be defined by that. I wouldn't want to be defined by that. I definitely think that it's a great water cooler moment, and it definitely a highlight of the season.
Okay, I want to ask y'all a question then. Give me one hot mic moment that you do feel is iconic from any of the Housewives franchise.
That whole thing with season 11 on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Which one?
For example, even like the one with Cynthia, where it was like,
just mention one. Just one.
Okay. So though, I would say to me it was the whole Cynthia situation, the Cynthia and Kenyon, when she mentioned to Mike,
know that she wasn't
I'm supposed to act like Cynthia. I mean, I'm supposed to act like I didn't know Kenya was coming. To me, that was iconic because you could tell in that moment there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on that we didn't necessarily know about, but that kind of gave us a little glimpse of some of the things that happened behind the scenes. So I think that's one of my favorite moments.
That's when it started like really breaking down the fourth wall a little more. And for me, it was Candy's I might like that warning before.
That was my other one, Jamie.
Because we didn't see.
But that was the same event. That was the same event.
That was really one of the things where like shit was going on behind the scenes, and these women are talking to each other and they're conspiring. And I think up until that point, we all had thought that Cynthia was such a good friend, and Nene was really like out of line for saying Cynthia was, two-faced and all that. And we saw that, and it was like, oh, okay, so Cynthia can get a little down in the dirt and a little gutta too. All right.
Yeah.
Chad, you got one?
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to think of it and come back to me.
I mean, there's so many. I know. Some of us follow Queens of Bravo. They made a post about it. And they did a good post, but they left off some of the black ones.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad we mentioned those.
Yeah.
But
they only mentioned the ones from like OC and New York and stuff like that. But
yeah. Okay. And so that's what I wanted to discuss. I wanted to see person like I like Lisa for the show. I ain't saying she should be fired, but as a person, if that's how she is, that is very dirty. And I can't see there being anything Meredith would have done to get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was like just outlandish, it was really outlandish stuff. Just about like her being a whore. Like nothing's factual about what she's saying. At this point, you just blurting out stuff. You know what I'm saying?
She's a shit garbage whore.
Right. Yeah. Shit, garbage whore, fuck shit, hoe, bitch, motherfucker. I'm like, that's basically what she was just going.
Lisa, what
every word. I'm like, Lisa, I mean, what in the
we've been saying all season we wanted Lisa just to lean into her villain, and this was that part on a TV series that it cuts off right at the end where the villain really like reveals themselves and then it just fades to black. Like that is it.
Oh, wait a minute. I see something in the comments. Brooke said them slurping on Bolo. The problem when Portia said, where is Bolo in his thing?
Or when she said somebody gonna eat her tonight.
Oh, yeah. Mel said, Giselle's dad. Yeah.
Giselle's dad, yeah.
Charles said Needy in the closet. And one moment I really like, she knew the mic was on, but I always love when Portia said, take a mic, I don't want to be here no more. I'm scared. I just think that was funny. I use that so much.
All the time.
I did love the
moment
I did love the moment where Nene had with Eva when Eva was like, take these cameras off.
Oh, yeah.
And Nene kept her mic on?
Yes, and Nene kept her mic on. I thought that was hilarious just because it was like, Nene, girl, this show, 11, 12 seasons, girl. You know
production was like,
you
keeping it on.
That's how you know she really trusted Eva. That's how you know she really trusted her because, I mean, she let her guard down, but she got her.
Yeah, Nene told production, Eva gonna kill me. Eva gonna kill me.
She gonna kill me.
Okay, no, but going back to this last scene, though, I just want to say that if no episode, because this has been a little moment for the lean and the viewers for like the whole season, especially the last few episodes. But if no episode of this season has proven that Meredith is in charge of the girls, this episode should have proved it. Because when Lisa had the meltdown, it was like, at this point, I realized, Lisa, you're really a real life narcissist. Like, like that moment really, really solidified for me that she actually has a jealous bone of Meredith. And it's like all the other girls, you could see it that, they kind of was, looking at Meredith in a way. But once Lisa had her meltdown, I was like, you're jealous too. Meredith is really in charge of the girls. Like, y'all cannot take it. Y'all can't take that everybody wants to be friends with her. Y'all can't take that she's not going to get too out of character. But when she does, she's going to shut y'all down. Like, Meredith has really stepped up completely this season, period.
Yeah. She definitely,
without doing anything.
Queen, but she don't
without doing anything.
Yeah, she hasn't done anything. All she did has been attack and basically respond. I mean,
she's windmilling. Every time,
we usually do not agree, but we all agree on this panel that Meredith is running the show.
Yes.
I would have.
Oh Lord, never mind. Jamie want to be different.
No. I really would like to see Mary back next season, have like a Mary Meredith like duo, and just run that shit.
I would like to see them back as well, but I want Mary to, like, Mary's producer to work specifically with her and kind of coach her through, like, kind of give her some tips on how to handle certain situations and stuff like that. But I would like to see Mary back. I would also like to see them bring in Angie, since Angie and Lisa was friends for like 20 years. Yeah. And they ain't friends no more. I know Angie got some shit to say. Bring Angie drunk ass on back too.
They actually, allegedly that, they were filming. Y'all saw the little clip of them filming outside of Mary's church. Mm-hmm. And so allegedly Mary is filming, but not with the girls yet. So I don't know. That we're gonna see. Somebody put it in the chat, but I did read that too. So we don't know. I mean, I think with the lady leaving, I think that gives more room for her to come back, because Bravo probably feel like maybe she was targeted a little bit. So I'm just saying, you just never know. Yeah. And then in the little Twitter spaces, she did say that she was coming back, was whatever. So I mean,
it's a possibility.
She wants to. Yeah.
The possibility, so she's open to it,
and she said if she come back, she was gonna be beat from head to toe. She got somebody to do her wig and her makeup.
She actually, this episode, her confessional with the blue and that.
She looked good.
She looked
good.
Really
I still couldn't see her. I couldn't see her.
Oh my god! God damn, Antonio.
Dang.
You gonna find something, ain't you?
Something.
I couldn't see her scalp in that part, but hey, I'm
You
with
got a
it.
really nice
She looks
TV.
so
You
good.
got the HD TVs,
Okay.
80K.
He got that 8K.
It's new. I just bought it it's a Samsung. Thank
You don't know how to work it, probably.
Don't.
Okay, we actually went over a little bit on time, but I'll take
Jasmine and I can help you, Antonio. Jasmine and I will email you instructions.
So we'll take a few calls. We went over a little bit, but I wanted to have a conversation. It's been a really good dialogue, and it's a lot of y'all in the chat and watching right now. So go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the like button. Don't be a hater. It is 2022, and we want to keep the support. We want to keep the channel growing. And there's actually a surprise coming very soon for those that watch this channel. So I would say keep supporting us because we got some things coming. So
and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend to do all of that. Who is this? Hey, Miss Johns. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let some y'all now. Now I'm gonna let y'all on the call. I am gonna put the time on today. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be as short as last time, though. I give y'all an extra 30 minutes.
30 seconds.
30 minutes.
30 seconds.
Extra 30 seconds. Because we got to keep it going, and we are a bit over a little bit anyway. So first, I have actually, this is one of the first people that ever called Lean. He calls it from time to time. It's Mel NYC Views. Hey, Mel.
Hey,
Mel.
How are you?
I'm loving it. I'm loving the show. It's just like, oh my God, you're covering all the points. I mean, it's great. But I think for me, Mary is definitely, she's a complicated lady with a complicated history and, a lot of Roman special church and things like that. And I think that for me, even with that being said, I would have liked her to be a little more, like I was saying, a little more stronger at the table with reading the people. I would want her to say, listen, are y'all members of my church? Like, why you keep talking about it? And I would love for them to, for her to say, listen, I'm not going down to court looking up your court records and, what y'all into. So I would have loved if she would have came back with some of those things. Yeah, but it was a good episode. It was a very good episode. And I think, like I said, I was shocked that, Lisa just sort of killed the friendship. And within, with that moment, she just killed it all right there. So that was shocking. It wasn't, I'm not sure if it was iconic or legendary, but it was very shocking. So that was sort of my takeaway from the episode,
Thank you.
We appreciate that, Mel.
Thank you, Mel.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Before I let the next person, I want to give a big shout out to Alex Salter TV for this lovely super chat of $20. Child, I'm gonna go shopping tonight. No, thank you, Alex. And like you said, support my channel. We actually have become really close. He has a channel as well. We covers a lot of the same shows, but puts a lot more effort into his channel too. And yeah, thank you, Alex. The next caller is going to be. Hey, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hey, Lisa. Let me make it quick because you said 30 seconds. So I'm going to say like this right here.
I ain't said 30 seconds. I said an extra 30 seconds.
Number one,
you got it.
These folks need to get a life, okay? They going over about somebody's father memorial. Child, it's none of your business. She should have told them.
No.
Man, go get a life, honey, okay? Mary don't like you, Jennie. If Mary don't like you, she don't have to like you, okay? Get over it. Same thing with Whitney. Stop acting like y'all is in the 7th grade, honey, and y'all get on my nerves. Okay?
Mine too.
And Mary was telling the truth. Heather, you ain't married. Okay? You ain't married. So your husband didn't pay for nothing. You had to pay for it. Come on now. Okay, I'm going to say something else. Babe, you know what? Mary is right. I wouldn't take up for Lisa nothing in the world. Like they say in the comment, Lisa is for herself, baby. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know nothing about Mary Church because I know Victor Mary Church, but I have seen all the blogs where the uncle and the cousin was there. They seem possible, but you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But now, Cortez, Wednesday night, we having a pre-celebration birthday. My birthday on the 3rd.
The 3rd. What day is that? What day is that this week?
That's Thursday. Wednesday night, though. Wednesday night, I'm going to try to come on, and we're going to have a party.
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna have
what I gotta wear.
I'll have y'all look for Wednesday night because I'm not gonna be able to come on Thursday night because I'm going out.
All right.
Okay.
I know
that's right.
I probably need you to sign in because I'm trying to get the link down and it's not going so good.
Okay, yeah. Send the link in the chat and I'll put it on the screen too.
Okay, then, darling.
Okay.
Love y'all.
Love you
Love
too.
you,
Thank
Lisa.
Love you, Lisa.
All right. Shout out to Morgan. Hey, Morgan, for this super sticker and this super chat as
Thank
well.
you,
We
Morgan.
appreciate the support.
Thank you, Morgan.
I love me some Morgan.
Our salary's going up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to renegotiate.
My salary going
Our
up,
salary's
baby.
going up.
If it's gotta going up, we gotta get some new Wi-Fi for some people. We gotta put it where it needs to go.
Oh man.
Okay, and our last caller for today is Kyra. Hey, Kyra, welcome back to the lean.
Hey, Kyra.
My girl. Hey, Kyra.
Hi everyone, how are you all? Oh wait, I'm on the timer
Good.
though, so we can't be too
Okay,
friendly
go
in the
ahead.
beginning.
You're right.
Yeah, you know, I'm that time my own time.
Kyra, you gonna beat that timer now. I know you gonna beat
Yeah,
that.
Kyra gonna beat that timer, child.
Okay.
I feel that I'm sorry for anyone going up for Lisa. I don't think that's iconic, because when I think of iconic, I don't think that your moment has to be so contrived. That moment felt so contrived. Like Meredith wasn't really even talking to Lisa. Lisa just had an argument with Mary, and then they're still in the discussion of Mary, and all of a sudden Lisa just gets up and starts storming away. And then all of a sudden she's in the bathroom. The EP's in the bathroom with her, and the fact that she comes out afterwards and says, "Take your mic back," means that she was very much so aware of that mic being on her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's why I can't get that to her, because my thing is, like, even if she wanted to say all that, which I feel like even what she said, it felt like a 16-year-old high school girl getting to fight with her. Like, she was in the popular group and she wasn't number one and she got into a fight, and so now she's just trying to rash on the girl. That's what it felt like to me, like when we're talking about that jealous bone and Lisa, because I think at least you could have said that in front of Meredith's face. But the fact that Joe Biden had to get up and storm away and then go into a closed bathroom to say this, like, it just for that, you don't even have the gumption to say it in front of her face. And so that's why I'm just like, it can't be iconic. Because iconic, like, especially when it comes to hot mic moments, either someone didn't know they were mic'd, or someone is setting them up to not know that they were mic'd. And so for this one, it's like she was just too aware for that. And then with the table scene, I feel that, yes, Mary doesn't go there, and I really wish she would. Jesus Christ. You don't have to curse, but come on, Mary. You could read down a little bit hard, especially when it came to...
That's like asking Garcelle to get them girls to get over there. It ain't gonna happen.
I know it's not gonna happen, but like we can hope that we can dream. I'm just saying. But I think it was I think Tisa Tal said like Whitney likes to defile things, and I never thought about that before. But like the fact that you keep it wasn't even Whitney's thought in her mind that the memorial was fake. That was Jennie and Lisa first. And the fact that now Whitney has like taken this up in arms to keep asking this woman if her father's memorial was real, not, hey, like what date? This timer.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
But it's just the fact that you feel the need to ask like 4 or 5 times, and then it's just also, and it's just baffling to me. I'm just like, go find your drug addict father. Nothing wrong with that, but like, go hunt for him. Why are we hunting down to figure out if this memorial is real or not?
Damn.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
My Lord,
it's a real serious issue. It's a real serious issue. If you want. So if you were, I try to be polite on the internet because that's why. But it's just that part is it's surprising to me, especially it's like none of these women have any backbone to go against Meredith or Mary, which is why they're in charge of the girl. Because the fact is like I will never forget that Whitney asked everyone to help her take Mary down. So you can't be in charge of anyone if you need help to take anybody down. And the fact that every time Meredith goes off, people just sit back and they have to come back like little mouse. The way that she crept into that kitchen and the sneak peek trying to ask again.
She was scared.
Y'all are not worth anything. The paper that you're writing on. And Lisa wants to be that it girl, and I think she was looking for Meredith. I think she sees that Meredith is about to be that it girl, so now she's losing her mind.
Yeah.
That's my part. That's my part.
That's
Kyra.
You said find her drug addict father.
Drug addict, happy.
I'm trying to be real.
Kyra is not affiliated with the lean, so if you need to get her,
I'm usually nice. I'm usually trying to be very much so PG-13.
See,
you're fine.
Now that's what Candace should have said to me about her mama.
Lord, thank you, Kyra. I'll let you go. Okay.
Bye.
I'm tweeting Andy to see if he got any spots on Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, not South Carolina.
Chad, what's your titty shape? JP Rob said Chad with this titty shape has me rolling.
When I said we was getting our raises.
I think I'm capped out already, though.
Look, but before we end, I do want to say that.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, I wasn't saying that Lisa's moment was necessarily iconic, but I think that it's a layered type of thing, and we do have to look at things through context. And like I said, with Black people and white people, we do things different, and things are, viewed differently. And I think that given the relationship of her and Meredith, all that she was willing, and Cortez mentioned it earlier with Lisa, she has a very, her and Jen Shah have a habit of self-producing. And I think that given the fact of her and Meredith's relationship for so long, and how we saw in season 1 how they were genuine friends, I think it's iconic that she really is willing to risk their friendship to say all that she said on TV in a moment, whether she self-produced it or not, whether she, knew she was Mike. Yeah, I think that for her to go that far with somebody that you call a friend, I think that is iconic TV, because you don't care at that point. You're just like, I'm trying to make myself a star. And Lisa is proving that she's really all about Lisa Barlow, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That's the only reason why I said it's iconic. I just want to be clear about that.
She's definitely going to go down in Housewives history as a villain, whether she wants to.
Oh yeah, of course.
wants to know.
She really got to own it next season. I hope when she comes back next season that she really walks in that villain lane and on that villain path, because
a lot of heads gonna be looking at her like this.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this is the season where she kind of has to go on a slight apology to her, because I mean, who does she really have?
Well, Whitney and Heather will film with anybody and do
You know what? You are so right. You are so right.
Definitely, because Jen not messing with her, and neither is Meredith, because she said that she feels like she knows she's not in a good place with either one of them, Jen or Meredith. So she'll film with Whitney and Heather. They'll do anything. So
she'll actually be friends with them next season.
Absolutely. Well, you seen what Whitney had told her at that dinner last time. Yeah, it's like us three. We're like a team.
And then what she say then? No.
Yeah, she's looking like. Girl.
She was like, no, it's basically it's me. She don't even believe in teams. Okay. Well, we have covered a lot, but it was great dialogue.
I'm hungry.
And then hold on, who said that? Nushka said, get rid of the timer, Cortez. Now look, Nushka, sometimes you got to have the timer just because. And Carrie said it's not lunchtime. You're right, it's not a lunch lean. However, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for actually staying and watching, because some people be dropping off, but a lot of y'all actually still watch the whole way through, which means a lot to us, because not only are we saying something interesting, but it's helping the channel too. So we appreciate the support.
Thank y'all.
Real Housewives of New Jersey starts tomorrow, so that's gonna be good. I saw TKC put it in the chat. So yeah, we'll be here Tuesdays. It's a different panel, but same faces, same familiar faces, but different shake up or whatever, shaking up the cast. And it will be live right after Jersey goes off. So if you're watching it on Eastern Standard Time, which is like 8 o'clock y'all time, we'll be on at 9 or like 9, between 9 and 9:10. Probably 9:10 to give us the time to shift over here. But we'll be live and we'll be talking about it. Thursdays, Real Housewives of Miami. And then, of course, we're doing non-live. We're doing Ladies Who List Atlanta and Drag Race. So you can catch all that on the channel. I'm always in this goddamn chair.
Okay.
Filming.
Cortez, what day is the Drag Race panel? I need to get on that.
We doing it on.
Oh Lord, Chad was mad.
We're doing it either on like Saturday or Sunday, because like in the morning or we can switch it up. We'll talk offline about that. But yeah, it's open if you want to.
Chad, I want to see you on there. I hope you can join.
Chad.
Oh,
that was panel. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the drag race. I wasn't throwing shade.
I want to see Chad and drag, honey.
No, not the drag, not the actual show, but on Cortez the panel, friend.
Cortez saw what I could give at his birthday brunch a few years ago, but
that was rough.
Anyway, thank y'all for watching tonight. Make sure y'all like this video and subscribe if not already. I'll say it again, and we'll see y'all tomorrow or Thursday or next week on one of these shows. Y'all have a good rest of y'all lovely Monday, and what as y'all always say, good night.
Good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.